Hey there guys, welcome back to the channel, or welcome if it's your first time. In today's video I'm checking out the SoundPEATS Capsule3 Pro Plus, now with xMEMS drivers. Let's get it. What's cracking, audio fans? David here from Prime Audio Reviews. So yeah, the Capsule3 Pro Plus. LDAC, hello, we love to see that, but you know what's exciting about this is that xMEMS driver. Now if you don't know, these are a new kind of thing. We will start seeing more and more of them as time goes by. I think what's interesting about the xMEMS, it's 95 times harder and 4 times faster than plastic. So these transients are like super crisp and fast. Now on top of that, we've got hybrid active noise cancellation. Oh, by the way, it's a dual driver IEM. It's got a 12mm, I think 12mm dynamic driver, plus that xMEMS which takes care of the high frequencies. Now the battery life is pretty outstanding. We're looking at like 43 hours in total with the charging case, which I'll bring in now, and about 6 hours, 6.5 hours just from the earbuds themselves. So here's the case, typical SoundPEATS styling with that matte black finish, that slightly flattened egg shape, nice and small, great for pockets. And I think it's looking pretty swish. Look at that little rose gold highlight on the USB port there. SoundPEATS logo on the back, very nice indeed. Inside, here's the earbuds. And they look like that, which is pretty sweet. They look similar to the Capsule3 Pro. But first I want to talk about the ANC real quick. So the ANC does work quite well. It, however, does depend heavily on having a nice good seal and a good fit, which is why I have some of my own ear tips on here, because the included ones, before we get to that, just have a look at those pretty gold nozzles there. Aren't they sweet? They look great. And they're comfortable, by the way. But yeah, the stock ear tips, as you would expect, are tiny and built for pygmy hamsters hiding in the Amazonian jungles. So I pulled out these babies here and that did the trick. So keep that in mind if you have large ears like me. One more thing I want to talk about before we get to the sound is the microphone and the call quality, and it is surprisingly good actually, so no problems with making video calls, phone calls, all that kind of stuff. Well, I'll give you an example of the microphones here. By 6000 BC, Greater Australia is no more. 1/7 of its land, about 2.5 million square kilometres, has been drowned by the sea. Tasmania, once a southern peninsula, is now an island whose aborigines have lost all contact with those on the mainland. So let's get into the sound now. And in terms of sound quality, you got a fairly balanced presentation, slightly V-shaped. I'm in the default setting, of course, because remember, SoundPEATS earbuds, SoundPEATS app on your phone where you can choose EQ. It's got an adaptive EQ as well, which is where you do a test. It's like a listening test with it plays low and high frequency tones, and when you hear a noise you click the button and it automatically sets up a profile based on the results of your test. So that's pretty cool. You can also set a custom EQ. You've got a 10-band custom EQ there available. So when I'm talking about describing the sound here, that is in the default setting. So nice, warm, full-bodied bass. A little bit on the slow side. It's not a super crispy bass. It's good for engagement and rhythm. Then you've got the mid-range, which is more neutral than the bass. It's got excellent clarity there. Vocals are not super forward, but they're not really recessed either, but there's plenty of energy. There's enough warmth and richness there so that they don't sound hollow. So it's a fairly clear kind of mid-range, but it's musical enough that you're not going to feel like you're missing something. And then there is the highs, and remember we've got that xMEMS driver, and oh boy, I tell you what, the highs are super crisp, and by that I don't mean harsh. I don't mean super forward, but they are just very precise, very tight, very agile. And I've come to learn that the timbre of xMEMS drivers is really on point as well. So beautiful, lovely crisp highs. So it's quite a dynamic sounding earbud. And like I said, you can tweak the sound via the custom EQ or the adaptive EQ. One other thing I forgot to mention, it's got a gaming mode. The touch controls, they work really well. You know, SoundPEATS earbuds, they're just rock solid. They just work every time. They're so consistent, so reliable. The touch controls work. The connection is faultless every time. And the battery life is also pretty good. Now I'm going to do a quick comparison, not with the Capsule3 Pro, but with the Redmi Buds 5 Pro. Now these also have a stem design. I'll pull both of them out. My phone's going to be so confused it won't know what to connect to. But yeah, so fairly similar style. In their default setting, the Buds 5 Pro has a warmer sound signature with slightly more forward vocals and thicker vocals, but you can also EQ these ones, so it's pretty versatile nowadays, these TWS earbuds. They both have active noise cancelling and they both work pretty much the same, you know, in terms of effectiveness for the ANC. And they are both around the same price, so if you have a preference for either one, I find that the touch controls on the SoundPEATS are a bit more reliable and consistent to use. So slightly warmer sound signature from the Redmi and more dynamic and super crispy highs for the Capsule3 Pro Plus. And although I don't have the Capsule3 Pro here, I can tell you that these are they're just a little bit brighter, they have better clarity, and they're not as laid back in the treble. So if you've got the Capsule3 Pro, that might help you decide whether you need these or not. But I'm going to wrap it up there. That is the SoundPEATS Capsule3 Pro Plus. These are pretty awesome, really. For the price, they do what they say on the box. If you're keen to check out the sound of these new xMEMS drivers, then these could be just what you're looking for. Thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, PAR Family Audiophile style. If you're new here, consider hitting that subscribe button before you go. And until next time, I'll see you later.